Hello everybody, welcome again to Country Boy Cooking with Marshall. Man, it's every once in a while I'll come here excited to show y'all a recipe, and boy have I got one for y'all today. A while back my wife went to town and she bought a new kind of dessert, something I've never heard of, never even seen. It's called brownie brittle. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Have you ever heard of brownie brittle? It's like peanut brittle, but it's made of brownies. Hey, we're going to try that today. I'm going to show it to you. I've looked up a recipe. Now, this is my first time making this. I'm going to be truthful with you, but I have scoured the internet for the best recipe I think that would be the easiest for everybody to try, and this is going to be it. So come on, let me show you how to do this, and I'm going to do the taste test and let you know if it's really worth your while. Come on down here. Now, first things first, get your baking sheet. I've got the ugliest one I could find, of course. Hey, and put parchment paper on it. What I like to do is put a real light spray of oil on mine. It holds it down. But hey, get that ready first thing. Let's go to the next step. Let's whisk together 2 egg whites with an electric mixer until foamy. Okay, after they're foamy, we're going to add in 2/3 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of neutral oil. I always use avocado oil. It's my favorite. 1/4 cup going in. And 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Get it in there. Let's get my whisk again. We're going to whisk this smooth now. Just whisk it smooth on low. Look at that, coming together. Good enough. Let's go in with 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. Now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and stir this in because that flour will go everywhere if you try to use the mixer. So let's stir it in. Just try to get it incorporated good. Then I'm gonna go back with the mixer. And let's go back in with the mixer. Just gonna whip this up real good. Y'all, this is really an easy recipe from what I see. Now, of course, you can go out and buy the brownie box mix, but I'm showing you how to make it from scratch. Because I know scratch is always better because you know what's in your food. Okay, good enough. How many remembers licking the beaters here? Boy, I remember doing that with Mama. And at this point, I'm bringing my baking sheet in. We're simply gonna get this and put it on the parchment paper, y'all, and spread it thin. So let's bring it over here. Trying to watch the camera, make sure I get it all in there for you. All right, let's pour it. Then we're gonna smooth it real thin. Like I say, you can buy the box brownie if you want to skip all this, but I like homemade because I know what's in my food. Now let's spread this real thin as I can, y'all. Make sure your baking dish is big enough for this. Just spread her thin. Okay, I'm calling that good enough. Now the spoon is mine. I'm sorry, y'all can't have that. Man, that is a brownie recipe if I ever tasted one. Okay, look, this is completely optional, but I'm adding mini chocolate chips and crumbled up toffee. You can buy this in the bags too, just like you do your chocolate chips. 1/2 cup of each. I'm putting it on here. I'm gonna make this deluxe. Just sprinkle it over it. Get it all on there. There is no wrong way. Okay, there's 1/2 cup of mini chocolate chips. Now you can use the regular size too. And here we go with toffee. Like I said, y'all, I searched the internet and this right here is the one I found that I really think is gonna be the best. We're going in with 1/2 cup of crumbled up toffee. Now, just like that, look. Like I said, this is going in a preheated 325 oven for 20 minutes. I'll see you in 20 minutes. All right, it's been in the oven going on 20 minutes and just a few seconds. I got me a pizza cutter here. You can use a knife, anything you want to. We're gonna get this out of the oven, get it over here, cut it into little pieces, you know, however big you want it, any shape you want it. It does not matter. Then we're going back in the oven for around 5 or 10 minutes. There it is, let's go get it out. Okay, here it is, everybody. That's what it looks like right now, but it's not quite done. Let's get down here and cut this, like I say, into any shape. I'm using a pizza cutter. You can use any kind of butter knife or anything. It ain't gotta be fancy. Come on down here. Just get your pizza cutter. I'm just gonna cut it into squares, y'all. You can cut yours any which way you want to. But we want to cut it while it's still hot like this. Just like that. I'm gonna go around this way. Hey, and even when you break it up, it may not break up in little squares or anything like you've cut it. It don't matter though, it's brittle, it's just made to chunk up. Okay, now, so it's back in the oven for around 5-10 minutes right in there. Make sure your oven's preheated back to 325, by the way. Everybody, once again, my brownie brittle is coming up to time. I've had it in there around 10 minutes because I just couldn't wait for that thing to get to 325 again. It was around 315, so I let it stay in there a little bit more. Hey, we're fixing to have to do the hardest part of the whole recipe. We're gonna have to get this out and let it sit about an hour. Let it cool off completely. It may not even take an hour, especially if you put it in the refrigerator. And by the way, you know, I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. So it won't take quite an hour. But even after that, if you get it out and half of it's just crispy enough, I mean just perfect, and some of it ain't, put it back in the oven at 250 degrees, preheated for around 10-15 more minutes. It'll crisp right up. Okay, now we're gonna get this out. I'm putting it in the refrigerator because I'm ready to try this. Oh my goodness, y'all, it smells so good. Imagine brownie brittle. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever tried this? If you haven't, try this, y'all. I'm telling you. I've tried it, you know, like I say, commercially, never homemade. This is my first time. I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator until it cools off, and I'll be right back with you. See you in a minute. Okay, everybody, here it is out of the refrigerator. It looks good to me, I'm telling you. Look at that, oh my gosh. It's brittle, listen. Watch this. See if I can catch it. Look at that. Watch. Look at that, y'all. Oh my gosh. Let's get it down here and break it up and let's do a taste test. Okay, where I've cut it with a pizza cutter, it's just snapping apart at the seam. Listen to this, look how thin, listen. Y'all, that is the best part of the brownie, the crunchy part. Let's break this up. Look how easy. Remember, I did not grease the parchment paper. I didn't, just underneath it to hold it in place. So now, we're getting this up and it's just absolutely, you know, you can make it into triangles. It don't matter, it does not matter. And like I say, if you get it out, some of it's crunchy and some of it ain't, put it back in the oven at 250 for around 10 minutes. But this turned out perfect. It's not even got to go back in the oven. I mean, look, I'm blown away. It's so pretty. Let's break it up. And that easy. All right, come on, let's do a taste test. Y'all, this has turned out good. Oh my gosh, and it's my first time trying it. Like I say, Lynn brought some home in a bag commercially. I forgot the name of it. Brownie brittle. And I thought, what is this? And I ate it and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good. But here it is. Let's try it. Listen to this crunch. Oh my goodness. That is so good, y'all. It's real good. Not only is it good, it turned out to be, if you want to say, a beautiful little dessert cookie. You ain't even got to have the toppings. You can just have the brownie mix by itself. You don't need the chocolate chips or the toffee, but I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Try this one. And like I say, share it with your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, kin and in. Let everybody know how to make this. It's very simple. Let them know you learned it from Marshall Woods on Country Boy Cook on Marshall. Thank you everybody for watching. I gotta get back out there in the sun. I've got a little sun right here out there working on those muscadine vines. We'll see y'all real soon. Jesus is Lord on my program. Try this. See you in the comments.